Welcome back to New World Tank Mastery, where I, Ty James, your mom's favorite internet tank. We've established this already, okay? It's non-negotiable. Anyways, I'm going to run you guys through Winter Forge today and show you how to tank it step by step. This is a random pickup group. I have no idea who any of these people are, so we will see how this goes. But yeah, so let me get into my Ice Ward and all my stuff here. Let's add our Constitution. We got to respec because I think I was set up for a different dungeon. Let me add in my 25 focus here for my cooldown reduction. I'm just going to dump the rest in strength most likely because I have my different amulet on right now. That's not all right. So we're going to drop this down to 206 because I'm just going to use a 44 strength food. Then we'll use here. All right, so bada boom, bada bing. Let's use one of these. It's just an easy dungeon. So here we go. So basically, you're going to come into this room. Let me know when everybody's ready.
Go when you're ready, dude.
Go ahead, hit the runes. I got it. So basically, you're going to start tanking these mobs that are going to spawn right here. And the first boss is behind this cage. And he's going to spawn once all these little, these guardians here are kaput. All right, so we're going to hold the aggro. Drop down all these minions. Once these minions are dead, there's going to be a timer until the next set of minions spawn. So we're just going to chill here. We have another 15 seconds. The next set of minions are going to spawn. And once that's done, we have another set of minions. Here we go. Stage 2. Next set of minions. So, you got to make sure that the other tank isn't pulling our aggro. So, sometimes when you have an off tank, they'll pull like a second set of aggro from you, or they knock people back like that, and that can generally be a pain. So, if you're the main tank, like in this one, they're having me be the main tank, and then we have an off tank. So, you want to take bulk of the aggro. Let him kind of roam around and grab any aggro that happens to come off of you and maybe coming after a healer or a DPS or something like that. You want your off tank solely to pick up that aggro without using a global taunt. So maybe using heavy attacks or things like that. Let you be the one using main taunts so that you can keep the aggro bunched up like this into a tight little group like so. And then we're going to keep these guys in a tight little group so that my team can AoE everybody down. Like that. So this off tank is doing a good job not using his AoE taunts. On the first split, I'm going to move the dog over to this corner. So in 9 seconds, the beast is going to come out. And I'm going to tank him about right here. At his first phase, he's going to split into 2, and it's very, very important that your team or your off tank picks up the other aggro, because if they're together, him and his split partner, they will just keep regenerating each other's health, and so you don't want that. So at the first split, what I'm going to do is I'm going to taunt him, and I'm going to heavy attack only so I don't grab both taunts. And I'm going to bring him over to my little corner over there and separate him from the other one. The off tank is going to take him over to the other side of the arena. All right, so I got my taunt off. So I have him. He's split. He's about to split. That right there is him about to split. At 50%. Here he goes. So now he's splitting. So I'm going to pull him over here. So my other tank should have, instead of using a global taunt like that, he should have just used a heavy attack All focus one, all focus one. So everybody needs to focus one of the splits, and I can self heal and self sustain on my side. You don't want to split your damage, right? So I'm just going to keep whacking this dude, keeping him on me. Let the whole team burn down that other mob, because at 50% from health, he's going to split again. So everybody needs to get all their damage on that one mob, and let me just deal with this guy by myself, whacking him, right? So if you look, the other tank has them separated over there, okay? So I'm going to just keep on whacking this dude. Seeing if looks like my off tank may need a little help. Other tank, if you need me to pull that second one off you, let me know. I can run over there real quick.
Nah, we're good. They're both going to die soon.
Okay. So sometimes an off tank might be having trouble keeping the aggro for both of them because they can do a lot of damage. So in that case, I would run over there. I would heavy attack one of them to bring him back over here, because this guy, obviously, his health is not really going down yet because I'm the only one attacking him. So let me defense myself up here. So now that I've got everybody back here, we're just going to burn him down. And then the moment he splits again, I'm going to pick up both aggro and hold it on me, because the second split, they burn down super fast. And only this first boss do you need 2 tanks. After that, it's just 1 tank, which is going to be me, and then the other tank is going to switch to DPS. So I'm going to grab all these, and we're just going to turn and burn. No, don't pull the aggro off me, big dog. So we're just going to burn these down, nice and smooth. Since we have a lot of range, I'm going to keep my sword and shield up so that they keep that 10% in power from leadership. If we had more melee, then I could always just chill on my flail, because I still give them 10% in power if they're nearby. All right, so let me pull up all these little fragments, make sure they're not hitting my healers. And then that's it. So that's the first boss. Then we're going to drop down here, like so. September, do you want to switch to DPS? So we don't need 2 tanks here, we just need 1. So this is the main boss of Winter Forge. Seeing if the off tank is going to switch to tanky boy, or to DPS boy. All right, so you see these pillars on either side. They spawn these runes, and they spawn, everybody ready? They spawn fire down at the bottom that everybody needs to, or people need to pick up, because over time, you start getting hypothermia because of his ice damage. Now, me personally, I have a lot of ice resistance, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage to me, but it can definitely start messing up the team. So you see how they grab the fire and they bring it over here? We're going to stack that up so that everybody stays prevented from getting hypothermia. So see how he's starting to charge up? He's starting to pull ice. Then he starts spinning, kind of like Ifrit in Imperium Forge.
Guys.
Right? So he starts spinning. You can attack while he's spinning, because he moves pretty slow, right? So you can get some attacks off and whack him, move, whack him, move, whack him, move, okay? So you can tell when he's about to do it, because you start seeing all the ice start to grow on the floor towards him, like he's pulling ice towards him, right? So that's when you know he's about to start the spin. So I'll show you kind of like how you can tell that, so you can get ready to start moving. And probably the next phase is about to start. So he's going to start dropping these down. As a tank, you can hold your shield in that circle, and it'll help keep you from taking that that full damage from those. So see how he's gathering ice? Gathering ice means he's going to start spinning. And when he starts spinning, he starts blowing ice out, and he starts damaging in that circle. So you can attack and move. Attack and move. Attack and move. Right? Like so. So you can keep on putting damage on this guy while moving. So keeping yourself from getting hit. So I'm going to keep on... I'm going to just keep my sword and shield out right now because I definitely want that 10% in power because we need to burn him down. At a certain part in the phase, he's going to move from the center part and he's going to jump to a different part of the arena. When he does that, he spawns a mob in the center of the arena. Everybody on DPS needs to burn that thing down.
One fire buff still out.
Otherwise, it's going to wipe, right? So when he does that, I'm going to face him away from the center, and I'll show you how I do that
Fire buff.
when that phase comes. Okay? So it's not going to be yet. It's well under 50%. So now he's starting to spin. So we're going to attack, move, attack, move. I'm going to keep rending him with my light heavies so that we're keeping him, his defenses down 20%. I'm going to re-taunt up right now just so I maintain the aggro. And as you see, it's a fairly simple fight for a tank. DPS has to worry about grabbing the flame and bringing it towards the center. As a tank, you're just managing your own health, you're managing your cooldowns, you're managing your taunts, and you're paying attention when he starts charging up the ice for the spin.
Fire buzz.
All right, so I can go ahead and block through that. I'm going to keep rending him. Like I said, I want to keep rending him. Having Power Stone in my offhand, right now I'm also weakening him because I'm over 90% health. So he's going to do 20% less damage overall. So there's his route. So he takes off. He's over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to face him away from the team because when he faces me, he does an AoE like attack. You'll see it right there. Boom. If that's facing the center, it's going to hit everybody. And we don't want that, right? So I face him away from the team, away from the center, because he shoots out that cone AoE, and that, if everybody's focused on that center mob, they're not going to see that thing happen, and it's going to whack the crap out of them, and then boom, we lose out. So same thing, I'm going to face him towards the wall here. So you'll see the cone. See if I can zoom out here so you can see it when he does it. Right there, see the cone? That's why you want him facing the wall and not the center where the root is, that mob in the middle. DPS check center. The root's up. So my DPS didn't realize that the mob was in the center. Now we need to move over here. Let me face him towards the wall. So his cone damage, that cone right there. Same thing, cone damage. I want him facing only me. I don't want him facing my team. Hidden hand here is kind of standing in front, so he's going to get cleaved. Right? So he moved over here, so I'm going to use this skill, and I'm going to face him towards the wall. There's the cone. There is a mob in the middle, but we can just burn him down. We don't need to worry about the mob in the middle. Boom. And that's it. It's as simple as that. That is how you do Winter Forge. So this mob in the middle is what needs to get burnt down super quick. Otherwise, he'll start spinning around and you'll basically wipe the team. Good job, guys. GG. And that is how you do Winter Forge. It's actually very simple. This was a pickup group. I don't know who any of these people are. They just asked me to come tank. And it's that quick, that easy, and that's how you do Winter Forge as a tank. So I hope you got some value out of this. Hit like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the other videos in the New World Tank Mastery playlist so you can get all the tips and tricks on how to do the pulls, how to do the boss mechanics, and how to do different things as a tank for the New World endgame content. And check out the new video I just posted yesterday, as of the recording of this video, regarding my tank build, the current one for Season 9 or towards the end of Season 9. So hope you enjoyed. Say hi to your mom for me, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.